Hey everyone, it was exactly a year ago that I promised an XCOM 2 Rookies Only run if we got to 50,000 subscribers on this channel. Now, as of the time of making this video, we've still got a fair way to go to reach that goal, but then I started thinking about it a bit more, and I kind of thought, honestly, a Rookie Only run could be fun. It would certainly be interesting, and I think you guys would really like it. So maybe we should just do a rookie-only run today. What do you think? Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Here we go. In the 2022 reboot of Saints Row, you play as a Day 1 rookie employed by Marshall Defense Industries. So that's right everyone, the video I know you've all been waiting for is finally here. Today we're going to see if you can beat Saints Row as a military contractor rookie. Now for those of you who don't know, Saints Row 2022 is a bit of an infamous game. It may be the single most cringe-inducing thing humanity has ever created. This game is so bad, the entire studio was shut down. Midnight Suns might have killed Jake's and Garth's careers, but this game here nuked an entire studio. It ended everyone's careers. And given how terrible it's probably gonna be, why would I even want to play this game? And the answer is it came in the March Humble Choice bundle. Now this bundle also came with a game I actually wanted, Neo 2. So in order to get Neo 2, I unfortunately had to take a copy of Saints Row with it. And seeing as I have the game now, I might as well see if it's as bad as everyone says it is. Let's check out this dumpster fire. The game is a reboot of the Saints Row franchise, a series that peaked with the second game back in 2008, and then it took a pretty rapid decline in quality after that, in my opinion. It was originally a kind of alternative to GTA. It had similar type of open world gameplay, but really dialing up the zaniness to just absurd levels. Anyway, that's enough context, let's get into my playthrough. And here you can see the cutscene that's been playing. This is the first thing the game shows you, Hipsterfest 22. I can feel my testosterone lowering just watching this. The devs, however, seemed really proud of this. This cutscene goes for a bit over 3 minutes, and the majority of that time is just some random businessman being accosted from all sides by soy-sipping wannabes. I imagine the bouncer at the door is to prevent people getting out rather than in. When we finally have control of the game, it's character creation time. I do my best to make our rookie look like a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, and then away we go. And at this point the game basically becomes a horror title. Look at this. I mean, are you telling me a serial killer wouldn't make this type of video? It is scary, scary stuff. Then it's flashback time, and yes, flashbacks are an overused trope, but honestly, I'm gonna take anything that gets me away from the cuckold apocalypse here, so let's just do it. It's our first day on the job at Marshall Defense Industries, and we're watching the orientation video. This is our boss, Atticus Marshall, and he looks disturbingly similar to our character. That poor man. We're basically a private mercenary force, I guess, and we've been sent in to capture somebody, I don't know, I wasn't paying that much attention. And then the real gameplay finally begins, and it's a bog standard third-person shooter. You run, you shoot, you take cover. Sometimes you have to shoot your way through an area, other times you might have to hold your ground and shoot at guys as they spawn, like wave defense. And there's even an on-rails vehicle shooting section. Yep, it's a shooter. I can definitely say that this game fits the definition of a shooter. And man, this tank part was boring. And yes, I know it's not actually a tank, but this section is seriously boring. Just shooting at waves of the same enemies spawning over and over. They even look the same. And then there's a helicopter that has a bullet sponge health bar. Pretty much every cliche you've seen in this genre is getting rammed down our throat already, and we're only in the tutorial. Then the tank gets blown up, but we somehow survive. And that's basically the running joke through the tutorial. Our fellow mercenaries all around us keep getting blown up or gunned down or otherwise obliterated. while we, through sheer dumb luck, managed to somehow keep surviving. Now you can melee guys, but only after you've Shadow Realmed enough other guys with your gun. The melee attack is like a special ability thing, and you have to build it up by getting regular kills first. So obviously we're going to have to shoot more guys. And then we shoot some more guys. Then after that, some guys appear, and you guessed it, we have to shoot them as well. Then we have to blow up this barricade to progress, so that's something different, I guess. And once it's blown up, some more guys appear, and they also require us to shoot them. And during this exchange, I learn how explosive barrels work. If an enemy is close enough to be caught in the blast of one of these things, you can just tap the Y button. Yeah, I was playing with a gamepad, but anyway, you can tap the Y button, and our boy will snap onto the explosive barrel and shoot it instantly. Yeah, he aims and shoots with a single tap of a button. It really is idiot-proof. Then we find the guy we've been sent to capture, and check out this dude's escape. He throws a smoke bomb at the wall and he just disappears. But he doesn't disappear into the cloud of smoke. No, he's not even standing inside it. So you can just see him warp out of existence. So yeah, very well done on that one. An over-the-top action sequence ensues where we climb up a tank and onto the jet that the dude is trying to escape in. This always seems to be the way with these games. The most interesting things that are happening are always during the cutscenes, not the gameplay. When we do get some gameplay, it is awful. It's just more wave defense, but the game's taken away the ability to move. We're just lying in the same spot like a piece of roadkill or something, and we're gunning down legions of faceless goons. Another cutscene, and then some more wave defense, but this time we're hanging from the bottom of the jet instead of lying on top of it. Truly, this is a new era of innovation. We still can't move though. And you know something, I used to play shooters quite a bit back in the Xbox 360 days. And it's stuff like this that's why I went off them. There's so much repetition in this genre, and so much of it is just totally mindless. So many shooters these days are just worse versions of shooters that we were playing 15 years ago. Another cutscene and we're able to bring the jet down. Now obviously in reality, both our boy and the world's worst magician here would be thrown from the vehicle and splattered against the ground if this were to actually happen. But Saints Row has always been about stupidly over-the-top action, so I don't mind it. It works for the franchise. Anyway, the crash leads to the dude getting captured. I guess he ran out of smoke bombs that cause him to blip in and out of existence, so that sucks for him. After the mission is over, our CO tells us we're getting no bonus pay because we chased after Discount Houdini instead of holding position like we were ordered to. So after a long day's work of mass murdering, we're still just as penniless as we were yesterday. So with our spirit broken, our abomination here drives back to our apartment, and you can see the environment here. Now I had most of the settings on high or normal, so the game probably looks better on a more powerful rig. And honestly, this isn't horrible. The pop-in isn't the worst I've seen, not even close, looking at you, Pokemon Scarlet. And I do enjoy a desert setting. The wheels on the car do look weird, like they stop spinning every now and then and a car is just sliding across the road. So it's obviously not great, but it's definitely not the worst game in terms of graphics. Anyway, this is what's waiting for us at home when we finally get there.
Oh, everything smells amazing, Kev.
You know what would make it smell even better?
Hey man, if you want a $300 waffle maker, you can buy it with the exposure the idols pay you in. Don't expect us to chip in.
I've told you before, the idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Yeah? Then why don't you go run off and join the commune?
I'm into showering.
I can tell you love it.
Okay, I don't have to love it, I have to pay my student loans.
Poof, I'm in.
Are we gonna make rent?
We'll make rent, we just gotta be a little more creative. We just knock off a payday loan place. No one gives a shit if people rob those bastards.
You have a job now. You could actually just take the loan.
Eli, I don't do business with morally bankrupt companies.
You worked for Marshall.
Brunch is a time for friends and mimosas, not debates on morality.
All right.
And I don't even know what to say here. Where do we even begin? I'm honestly wondering if this was an inside job. Like, did the devs want to shut the studio down? Was this a deliberate sabotage to cost the Embracer Group as much money as possible? I mean, this cannot be real, right? Like, surely no one looked at this cutscene and said, yep, it's great, exactly what we were going for, people are gonna love this. I mean, I can't even tell if we're supposed to like these characters or if the whole thing is just to make fun of them. Like when Kev talks about the idols building a post-capitalist society, he talks about it like it's a good thing, but then immediately he dismisses the idea because they don't have running water and they all smell bad apparently. Or when our character says they can't take out a bank loan because they don't do business with morally bankrupt companies. Then Nina immediately points out we're employed as a literal hired killer. Like, is this supposed to be making fun of how ignorant and brain dead so many people are these days? Or is this supposed to be appealing to those same people? And I honestly don't know. It's so weird. Like, these characters are beyond stereotypes. They're pretty much just memes. But the game seems to want us to sympathize with their struggles of not having enough money to make ends meet. And yeah, that's a common problem that a lot of people can relate to. But see, while the game does this, at the same time it's portraying these characters as a bunch of complete idiots. So instead of being a cast you could sympathize with, these characters just come off as obnoxious. Like, no wonder they don't have money, they don't have a brain to share between them. I have no idea who the target audience of this game is meant to be. Maybe it's people who hate themselves, and here I am playing it. Let's move on, this is getting a bit too real for me. So then we rob this loan place. I don't even know what this is meant to be. The world's dodgiest bank? Loan Shark Central? Mafia Incorporated? Criminals are us. Yeah, I could do this all day. But like, why aren't we even wearing masks to try and conceal our identity? We're literally just waltzing in broad daylight to rob this place. Anyway, there's a car chase with the cops. We're apparently just as bad at robbing as we are managing our finances. Imagine that. And the game introduces this weird sliding mechanic you can use to bash other cars. And the cop cars have health bars, so if you do enough damage, you'll disable the vehicle. I hate this mechanic. I have nothing else to say about it. We end up on a dirt bike being pursued by a legion of cops. Or maybe it was just a couple. I don't know. Anyway, it seems like we're trapped and we're finally going to be held accountable for the various crimes that we've committed in the last 5 minutes. This is a bad thing, apparently. However, not to worry, this then happens.
You called for a ride?
You said you didn't want to risk your car.
I said I didn't want to risk it for rent. I'd risk anything for you, dummies.
My goodness, this is some cringe. And see, this is why I can't tell if this is a parody or just the worst writing of all time. Nina here telling us she would sacrifice anything for her friends, that's pretty admirable. So are we supposed to like her? Or are we supposed to be laughing at the living meme she represents? And like I said, I really don't know. If this was a double cross to bring Embracer down from the inside, I have to say, the people responsible are geniuses. If, however, this was a serious attempt at making relatable characters and an intriguing story, this is enough to give a man a brain hemorrhage. So I'm gonna call it here. My state of being while playing this game oscillated between cringing and being bored out of my mind. There was nothing else in between. So yes, you probably can beat Saints Row 2022 as a rookie, but only if you really, really hate yourself. So we're going to chalk this challenge up as a failure. But I will say this, regardless of whether this game was an inside job or not, I find Saints Row to be a truly fascinating piece of, I hesitate to use the word literature, but maybe a fascinating piece of media at the very least. See, in a healthy society, this game would not exist. Not in a million years. There is no way a company would have looked at this and said, yeah, we're going to invest millions of dollars to make this thing a reality. It just wouldn't happen. And yet here we are. It does exist. And not only does it exist, there is a plethora of games, TV shows, films, and books that are just as cringe as this one that also exist. And I just find the entire state of the entertainment industry as a whole right now to be so very fascinating. Now sure, it means we're bombarded with corporate slop with pretty much every release that comes out, but at the very least, my friends, we live in interesting times, and I think that's pretty cool. Alright, I know, I did the thing again. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. It's that time of year. I know, I'm a bad man. But look, the offer still stands. 50k subscribers and we'll do the XCOM 2 Rookies Only run for real. Or at least I'll attempt it. I don't know if I'll actually win, but I will give it my best try. And for the regular viewers who are wondering, which game do I prefer, 5 Dates or Saints Row? Well, I would take 5 Dates a million out of a million times. It's a shorter game, so you don't have to suffer as long when you play it. Have a great day.